How's it going, everybody? Welcome to RebelTech. Now for today's review, we are gonna take a look at the Redragon H510 Zeus, always two names, gaming headset that Redragon focuses on comfort and durability, but for only $60, which is honestly not bad. Now, just before we get into the review, yes, the H510 does resemble the HyperX Clouds quite a lot. Now, I don't really mind that because I love the design, it works really well, but I will make a dedicated video comparing the H510 to the HyperX Cloud Core, because if none of them are on special, there's only around a $10 difference between the two. So stay tuned for that. The comparison video will come out a bit later. So firstly, before we get into the headset itself, included in the box you get your detachable mic, your mic and headphone splitter, a 1.2 meter TRRS to TRRS braided cable, a 2 meter TRRS to USB braided cable with an inline controller, and then finally a little carry pouch that does feel nice and actually works quite well. But now getting into the design of the H510, it features a metal frame that can easily adjust and that can also handle a lot of twists and bends. You can even almost bend it open 180 degrees, although I wouldn't really recommend that because you never know, but it can do that. The build quality does feel very durable, and I do believe that it'll be able to handle quite a beating. But of course, I haven't really used it for that long of a period, and I haven't thrown it against the wall or anything to test, so just keep that in mind, please. Moving on to the ear cups, they are made out of plastic, but the outside does have this nice smooth rubberized coating, although the silver part is just mostly plastic with the Redragon logo. The ear cups are also able to tilt inwards and outwards a tiny bit, and same goes for swivel, although that's mostly the headband. If you wanted to rest them on your neck, you can also do so. It's not that uncomfortable, it's just I wouldn't use it for a long period of time, but if you want to listen to music like that, you can. Also, for the top headband, it does feature a leather-write material and it does feature some padding underneath. It was pretty comfortable, no real complaints over there. Now, I was kind of surprised that Redragon didn't add any RGB to the headset. I mean, pretty much all of the products have RGB. And if you guys didn't realize, that was sarcasm, because RGB on a headset is kind of a waste. So yeah, I don't really care that much, even though I do love my RGB. As for the ear cups padding, they are nice thick leatherite foam pads that is extremely comfortable. Now, I will say that it is currently winter here, so I didn't feel any heat come from that, but I do believe if it's a hot day, then of course you will sweat some, but it should still be okay. But now the main thing that I liked is that the H510 included some padding against the inside of the drivers. My ears tend to scratch against the inside and it can get quite annoying, so having this definitely increases the comfort a lot and makes me able to wear the headset for a longer period at a time. Also, it does seem that you can actually take off the pads and then replace them with different ones, although currently Redragon doesn't sell any of them separately, and I'm not sure if third-party ones will fit on the ear cups, but that is an addition that Redragon could possibly add. They could possibly sell like velour ones, kind of like what I did with my HyperX Clouds. Just trying it out, but it's a different feeling, and if your pads does fade after some time, then you can replace them without needing to buy an entirely new headset. Then next up, for the removable cables, you do again get the standard TRRS to TRRS cable for your phone or for your laptop, and then the TRRS to USB cable that has that inline controls. With that, you can adjust the volume, mute the microphone, and then also mute the speakers. Now, connecting the cables, you connect them to this gold input on the left ear cup. Even though it does look like it has some threading to it for like a locking connection that we do see on some headsets, it is not. You don't have that option. So it just kind of stands out, this gold connection, and I'm not exactly sure why Redragon went with that. Now, getting into audio, the H510 can get quite loud. On my PC, I usually left it around 40%, which was pretty much enough for me. Now I don't put it crazy loud any of my audio, so if you wanted to boost that up, you can. You'll probably go def at 100%, but you do have that option. As for the sound quality, it was pretty decent in my opinion. I will say that the low end isn't as heavy as most other gaming headsets. You don't really get that thumping bass, but on the other hand, it's not non-existent. It's still there, it's just not as heavy. The H510 does also feature virtual 7.1 surround sound for all of your gaming needs, and it did sound pretty good. But I believe it only works on the USB cable, however, so just keep that in mind. And also for all of the console gamers out there, yes, the H510 does work on PlayStation and Xbox, so you don't have to comment in the description asking if it does. Then next up, for noise isolation and sound bleed, the H510 does an okay job here. If people are really close to you, they will be able to hear what you're listening to. Even on that 40% that I left it on, the sound bleed is still pretty noticeable. Same goes for the noise isolation. If people are close to you and your volume isn't crazy high, then you will be able to hear what they're talking about. But if your volume is crazy high, then yeah, you'll most likely not be able to hear what they're saying, but then you'll annoy them quite a lot as well. Then moving on to the microphone, you get a detachable, bendable mic that actually sounds pretty good. Now I'm currently recording straight into Streamlabs with the USB cable, and this is what it sounds like. It is a tiny bit muffled, but other than that, there's not popping or anything. If you do put it close to your mouth, then of course there might be some. But if you leave it to the side a bit more, it actually sounds pretty clear. Now, volume-wise, it's not the loudest if you don't have the Windows audio gain control on. It is a bit softer, but you can always boost it in a post or in your software that you're using. But now, however, for noise cancellation, it isn't really the best. So I'm using Cherry Mix Blues at the moment. It is loud, but even just tapping on the desk here, you guys will be able to pick that up. And I'm not sure about the software, which we'll get into later, if that actually has a noise reduction feature built in. But other than that, this is how it sounds like, and it's not too bad in my opinion. Then just lastly, for the software, you can go download it from Redragon's website, but when downloading the zip file, it kind of had a strange name in one of the files, and it kind of freaked me out. So I did try to install it, but it didn't even want to work on my Windows 10 system, so I couldn't really test that out. And if you want to try it, you can, but I'm still skeptical about that name though. I'm not sure if it is a virus, although my scans didn't pick anything up. But what I could gather from some other information is that it allowed you to enable your virtual 7.1, possibly create profiles, set EQs, and then I also think it can allow you to set a noise cancellation for the microphone. But again, I'm not entirely certain. So that's pretty much it for my review of the H510 Zeus from Redragon. Definitely a solid headset with good build quality, great comfort, a good enough microphone, which we don't really see on a lot of headsets at this price point. And then also it has some really nice features like the detachable cable and also the detachable mic. All of that for a not too bad price of only $60. So again, I'm going to do a comparison between the HyperX Clouds and the Zeus 510. That'll come out a bit later. But there's something that I think is worth mentioning that I experienced with the H510. Now, it could just be me or it could just be my sample, because I did read some reviews on people who actually bought the headset and none of them mentioned anything like this. So what I experienced was that the right side sounded a bit more hollower, if that's kind of a word, than the left. And the reason why I say it like that is because if you tap on the ear cups, you can actually hear a difference between the two. Like the one is more hollow than the other. And what I think is that the left ear cup has all of the connections on the inside, so the mic jack and then also the mic input and then also the jack input, and because of that there's not as much open space behind the driver, so a lot less air, and that can affect the audio somewhat. To be clear as well, it's not crazy noticeable, especially if you are in game and you're listening to your music a bit louder than just like on 20% or something. But yeah, I did kind of notice that. Again, I'm not sure if it's only me or it's only my headset. I do have some experience reviewing, and I've used a bunch of different gaming or just normal headsets. So I'm not sure if I was just really looking for or analyzing the audio a lot more. But yeah, that's just something that I wanted to mention, because that's kind of what reviewers need to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment like always. Also, if you want to get the H510 Zeus for yourself, I will leave links in the video description. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will check all of you next time. Cheers, guys.